I'm back. Yeah.
So please mute yourselves. Thank you.
Yeah. Just 1 second. Full screen. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Hi. I hope the discussion went okay. Fruitful. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So if there's still questions left, Ale, sorry. Yeah. Jackie. Yeah. Go ahead.
Geshe-la, your camera, Geshe-la. Very blur for us.
Ale. Yeah. I also touched it.
Oh, cannot see.
Cannot see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
now,
blur, Geshe-la.
now it's better.
Or like out of focus. Now.
I do the remote. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Now it's very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the discussion, and if there's any questions left, then yeah, let me know. That's why I'm here, basically. Or it's all clear. It's all clear. Seems like. Yeah. Yeah. So what we discussed is kind of the benefits, which is you try to understand a bit more by reading the Lamrim or the Vajrayana, so to say. And the more you read the text, the more you actually get inspired. That's what His Holiness the Dalai Lama always puts as the most, aspirational text for generating this mind. Yeah. So many of His Holiness teachers and teachers in the past, then their main emphasis is the Bodhisattva or the main practice. Now, Lama Rinpoche, for example, who was this incredible being who also we talked about emanations, and you never know who who is an emanation and who not. So Lama Rinpoche, he used to sit with the beggars, on the street in the dirt, and so His Holiness recognized and then made street prostration straight in the dirt on the street, So we sometimes don't know, but Lama Rinpoche, the only text people know he had really in his position and was always walking around with is the Bodhisattva Vajrayana. Yeah, it was his kind of core practice, not only Tibetan but also in Sanskrit. So that's a kind of very interesting example, so to say, for mind training. And then, the more you get convinced about that aspect of chapter 1, then you get interested in the other chapters. And not only interested in the other chapters, but also how to generate a mind. And as we will discuss more tomorrow, the Bodhicitta generation, from the point of view of exchanging self for others, is really based on very strong form of reasoning and dialectics, almost with your own kind of self-cherishing attitude to see the drawbacks of that and to see the benefits of cherishing others using logic. And then that's very powerful from that text. By the power of being convinced about cherishing others, then the mind moves. Yeah. So also as honest 2 days ago, Janjup Semtel, the first day of the Nagarjuna's commentary to Bodhicitta, maybe? Janjup Semtel. Yeah, I will translate. So anyway, so that means that when His Holiness said in the beginning of the text is that to see all sentient beings as your mother is not easy, which is true, right? It only comes by the power of habituation. So then, from the point of view of the Janjuk Central, meaning, not Janjuk Central, because I saw in the chat something, but by the power of this exchanging self for others, then the reason is very powerful, as His Holiness says. That if you we all use reasoning all the time. Our kind of mental approach to everything in life uses reasoning. Even our destructive emotions, they use reasoning. Not very correct ones, but there's also true. No, we say I don't like this person or I like this situation because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. So we have a very inclination in our mind to reason. It's very it's almost with the emotions almost spontaneous. That's why we have more. We talked about spontaneous aspects of bodhicitta this morning. That to get the spontaneous bodhicitta in order to enter the path, for that bodhicitta to arise, that needs a lot of reasoning to come to that conclusion, and then we believe in it, and then we try to generate that conclusion. Yeah. So in a similar way, the destructive emotions also use reasoning. not very valid ones, but also they say, it's like this, or I need this because of this and this and this and this. And we think there's some benefit in obtaining our object of attachment, and that's why belief, that's reality. And by the power of reasoning, that emotion becomes stronger, right? We build up these reasons. We're not going to be happier and happier if we obtain one particular new delivery of one particular new object we order on Amazon or something like that. It's kind of, it's not like that. But the expectations makes us believe that's reality, and then the stronger the mental image is being built, the more we believe. And that's also based on a particular kind of reasoning, right? So the mind uses reasoning, with anger and with attachment. So to counteract that and think about reasoning in a constructive way, because those afflictions based on those kind of reasoning are spontaneous. It's very easy to get angry. If I ask you what's easier, to get really annoyed or with a person or situation, or to generate bodhicitta for all sentient beings, what's easier at the moment? The first one, right? Why? Because the habituation is stronger and almost it's spontaneous. Just you have to trigger it with a few reasons and there it goes by itself, automatic. So that is because of the power of habituation since the beginning of lifetime. So if you habituate yourself to bodhicitta, normally our mind is occupied by object of attachments, or object of aversion, and our mind is, if you calculate, forget sleep, take off the amount of sleep at night, but the waking state, and see how many hours we spend upon following these afflictions. It's a lot of time, you see. So that means the habituation is strong. If you have that time dedicated to bodhicitta, then I guarantee you in a few lifetimes you get it. If not in this, because that's the habituation we're lacking, but also with the power of reasoning and habituation it's possible to generate. And in particular, this kind of strong reasoning that really understands the drawbacks of self-cherishing attitude and the benefits of cherishing others. So that's why that technique of exchanging self for others is very beneficial, because you see, it's more beneficial. It's own says, now if you want to be intelligent, selfish, or no, if you want to be selfish in an intelligent way. You see? So if you really want happiness, you cherish others to be happy. If you only cherish yourself to be happy, that's a cause for suffering. If you cherish others to be happy, that's kind of a cause for happiness, you see? So that's what his Holiness says. If you want to be selfish, be intelligent in that way. So that means that if you cherish others, why is that a cause for happiness yourself? Because, you cut off all these kind of personalities, you don't like, for example. And if you don't like a person, that automatically creates a kind of suffering, right? Mental disturbance. So if you cherish others and see all beings as equal, as we saw this morning with the meditation on equanimity, whatever culture, whatever race, whatever background, whatever sentient being, so to say, is equal, because we all strive for happiness and don't like suffering. We all humans share that same nature. So if we have a little bit of happiness, we want to keep it, right? If we have a little bit of suffering, we want to be separated. So we sometimes think we're the only one on the planet, but every single individual have the exactly same wish, and the strength is all equal. The strength of wanting happiness, not wanting suffering, is equal. So in that regard, all beings are equal, So if you use that kind of logic and then think how wonderful it would be if other beings achieve happiness and be separated from suffering, based on this kind of logic, then automatically is a much more constructive way of mind that produces, first of all, harmonious relationships with others, because you see them all as equal, And from the point of view of cause and effect relationships of the mind, what we call karma, or, law of cause and effect within the continuity of a person, same thing, because you wish happiness not just for one, but for many, right? So wanting happiness for many creates many causes for happiness. You see that? Right, it's logic, right? It's kind of, so if you create many causes for happiness, then also the results will be many. If you only create causes for your own happiness, or try to, then it's only one cause. So you cannot expect too much. And then that by itself is not really producing any happiness, because the self-cherishing attitude is basically a very narrow mind that actually causes more disturbance than benefit. You know, if you only think about yourself and you're superior, because you know certain things you think you're the most important person on the planet or something like that. You know, there's from the outside you might smile on TV screens and Zoom and everything. You know, there's kind of even articles these days how to look good on Zoom, or you can go to a hairdresser. We start doing the lockdown. We can give you a special Zoom cut to look good on Zoom, you know, on the internet. But the real looking good is inside. It's not, you know, people can smile, but inside it can be kind of complete kind of irritation or depression or being down, right? So the real happiness comes from within and not from just the physical, you know, appearance. Of course, there's a relation, but so that means that the real cause for happiness is kind of, you know, if you create causes for many, then the results will be many, right? So that's why, from the point of view of logic, cherishing others is so much more of benefit. Anyway, we do more about those points. Yeah, and then the power, if you can compound those two matters later on, we will discuss tomorrow, then it becomes very sophisticated, because the kind of exchanging self for others is mainly initially, if you take away the last part of you know, the special intention and going towards bodhicitta, it puts a lot of emphasis on the shepherd-like approach. First all the sentient beings, then yourself, right? So first all the sheep into the pen, and then yourself, you go home. Yeah, from the point of view of mind training, is the most powerful one. First others, then yourself. But from the point of being realistic and be of benefit of sentient beings, then the king-like approach makes a lot of sense, right? If you're not in the position of doing or capacity of mind or activity of putting emanations, as we just discussed, you know, if you cannot do that, then it's kind of, yeah, you're very limited, you know. So that's, you see there's a need eventually to generate the king-like approach. But from the point of view of generating compassion and love and kindness in relation with Tonglen, as we also will see tomorrow, then these mind trainings of exchanging self for others is extremely powerful. You know, so, and very logical and basically easier than the one we just discussed. Yeah, because past and future lifetimes is first of all very difficult for people, but then on top of that, all sentient beings being your mother, you know, not the present lifetime, but since beginner's lifetime, and remember the kindness and repay the kindness. It's not an easy task, right? Yeah, in the Lamrim it says, in the experiential Lamrim it says, Guru devotion and seeing all sentient beings as your mother are the two most difficult ones, more difficult than emptiness. You know, so it's very true, because it only comes by the power of habituation over a long period of time. And so with emptiness, as in relation with one question by Alexander about, you know, emptiness is just you recognize object of refutation, and that only can really happen if you have a lot of store of merit and purify negative deeds. Then it's just a matter of fact of logic, and you get it, and that's it. So emptiness is not that difficult, but bodhicitta needs much more habituation, you know. So, but possible, that's what His Holiness says, you know. Initially he thought it's very difficult, but now he says, okay, I see it coming, kind of, you know. So that's very inspirational to see His Holiness putting this aspect, you know, to inspire us to generate it. And it's, yeah, initially it looks difficult, but possible over time, you know, 50 years. His Holiness says now, you know. So yeah, what is for us 1 dp, you know, this kind of few weekends, you know. So then try to contemplate those points, yeah, and try to not only discuss as you just did, but also try to think about, you know, these things when you sit with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and you know, instead of checking all, you know, social media things or whatsoever, just sometimes sit down and relax. You know, those things can wait, you know. So it's sometimes very relaxing just to put your phone on fly mode and then just leave it somewhere out of sight, because sometimes if you put your phone on fly mode but it's still inside, and still there's a kind of mind looking like that, you know. So just take some time and just relax. You know, things can wait, and sometimes it's more important to focus on more important things in life than just one message or two, or yeah, you know. So if you do that, then you habituate your mind, And if you try to take it throughout the day some time for that, like every hour for a few minutes or something, then things will develop, you know. That's if you just do 1 weekend to a month or something like that. It's interesting, you put in prints, but it's not really producing a particular kind of development as such. So you have to try to do that on a regular basis, if not on a daily basis. Yeah, so that's a little bit of more homework, and especially today, the day of Buddha's descent from heaven, you know. So that means if you, especially today until you fall asleep at night, then try to, you know, try to think about these things. It's very beneficial, and yeah, good imprints, especially on these kind of yeah, special days. Yeah, okay. So then if there's no good, there's no really questions, then no problem. Then yeah, have a good night's sleep after, and then yeah, see you tomorrow. And then not yet, yeah, yeah. But Aleon, yeah, we meet again this evening. Is true, right? 7 o'clock. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. So 7 o'clock we have some prayers from 7 till, yeah, I made a sheet for that actually, but yeah, my mind was already in just relaxing and enjoying the rest of my day. But yeah, we do pray. It's very fortunate. So we're gonna, if you would like to join us, please join at yeah, I saw, yeah, at 7, from 7 till 8:30. Yeah. So we made a nice schedule of very inspirational prayers in the lines, exactly in the lines of generating bodhicitta. So if you like to join us, you're very welcome to join us at 7. And then throughout the prayers also try to reflect upon these points. You know, and that's because that's the power of prayer. It's kind of a guided meditation. If you reflect upon the meaning of the prayer, it's not just a mere ritual, right? It's kind of as a guided meditation, because you reflect on the meaning and then you move to a particular kind of aspiration to be generated. Yeah. All right. So there's one question. Yeah. Radu, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the teaching. The question is like that. Can you tell us something about the testing in the case about testing, to test, because we may catch we may catch a good day and we may meditate on compassion and start, we may feel very nice, fantastic, and we start to think that we are very great practitioners and we are very compassionate, but when is the time to test actually, and how should we test? I mean, kind of real life theory. How do you see it?
Yeah. So if you think you're really something, then look at the image of a person you know you don't really like, or a message that person sent in the past, and then see how you react. Yeah. If you generate a little bit of disturbance in mind, they already know that you're not really perfect. So there's kind of easy approach or easy way to check and to bring us down. You know, that's one aspect. It's just kind of very practical one. But another aspect is just contemplate, you know, the kind of, you know, uncertainty of our life. Very easy to die today or tonight, you know, and to fall to other states of existence and experience suffering. So also that you can, if you contemplate those things well, you can bring down thinking that you're superior, right? So that's exactly why in the Lamrim we have to meditate on the small and middling scope. Yeah, because if you don't meditate on the small and middling scope, you will never produce a genuine form of bodhicitta. So that's exactly why we have to contemplate at those points as well, and also helps us to put our feet on the ground. Yeah, and see your own kind of yeah, your own afflictions in your mind coming and going. Then if you really check your own mind, you can learn a lot, and can really help you to see that you maybe didn't understand certain things yet, you know, or you didn't develop that much as you thought you would have. Yeah, so there's a few things to check maybe. Yeah, is it okay?
Thank you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so check. Yeah, with those things. And yeah, bodhicitta means kind of, if it's really spontaneous, and then in the sense that you never ever exclude another sentient being, then you're on the right track. But even then, still, your development and the development of a Buddha, or like His Holiness, is a big difference there. So you can see you're still lower, you know, and that's another training, as we say, to see yourself as a lower of all, to see others as more superior, and meaning that you focus on the qualities of others and your own mistakes, and then you will learn a lot. So that's, yeah, there's many things to check in the mind trainings. There's many interesting texts that helps us to check our own mind, you know, when we, especially when we're by ourselves, and when we're with others, to check our verbal behavior, so to say. Yeah.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for everything, and then yeah, maybe see you soon at 7, and then between now and 7 also try to reflect upon these things, you know. It's kind of, yeah, then you don't, if you take those intermediate or in between states, meaning not formal meditation, but in our normal daily acting life, if you use mindfulness, then it's great benefit, because meditation we only do a few minutes a day. I mean, average person, or maybe an hour or something, that's it, right? Formal kind of, some people do 2 hours or 3 hours, formal kind of prayers. But then the rest of the day, if you don't really put things into practice, then it's not really, the habituation is not building up. So yeah, that's your homework. Between now and 7, you have almost 3 hours. So try to keep your mind in that same kind of, you know, same kind of training. Yeah, then there's great benefit. Okay, thank you so much. I do a few dedications. We can do, yeah, the one we normally do. So try to dedicate for the spreading of the Buddhist teachings, as well as the kasa, the long and healthy life of our precious gurus, and the holy wish to be spontaneous fulfilled, and for the two bodhicittas, bodhicitta and emptiness, to arise, and all the right conditions come about, and quickly achieve the state of kasa. Yeah. Never part from precious gurus, and quickly go on. That's the last verse is actually referring to that, to proceed on the paths of the bhumis, grounds and paths, as we discussed in the Lamrim. Yeah. Okay. Dagi jina sabe gewa di tendan joa gindan. Keba jasan lozan raba yi tembe nyingbo rindu selje jo gare rawe gorwe singam so pendan dewa malu chungwe chenre zigwan tenzin gyazo yi jabe shi de badu de de zan zang je jia han ge hen ge de hen zi yong de wen ju do ho zi jo zung go re le me hen ba da zo de go ja de shu Janjo Sanjo Rinpoche Magye Pana Gegu Chik Geba Nyamba Meba Yang Gone Gonde Belwa Sho Toni Tawa Rinpo Magye Pana Gegu Chik Meba Yang Gone Gonde Belwa Sho. As long as space remains, as long as my greater beings remain, until then may it too remain to dispel the suffering of my greater beings. May the king of Dharmas and Kappas, may the Dharma flows, and may the omens of obstacles be pacified, and may all conducted circumstances be complete. To the power of having made single-pointed requests to you, Lord and Traka, may all unfortunate manifestations of degenerate age, illness, famine, quarreling, epidemic disease, spirit interference, and so forth be pacified, and excellent collections of conductive condition freeze. Please bless me that my wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. By evoking the power of loving kindness, of generosity, and through the force of making sincere prayers, may all sickness, war, and fighting be completely pacified, so that may the glorious Guru's life be long and stable. May all continue happiness, and may all others, without exception, commit merit and purify negativities, and may be blessed quickly to attain Buddhahood. Gewa Gunda Yanda Lama Dan Dame Chedan Beldan Monje Sadan Lamgi Yunda Drabzo Ne Doje Changi Kopa Nyoto. All right, thank you so much. And then, yeah, see you soon tomorrow and tonight. Yeah. Okay, see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Geshe-la.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Geshe-la.
See you tonight.
Thank you. Bye.
See you tonight, 7. Bye.
Bye.